Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another great video. All right, and like I've said in other videos before, when it comes to wholesaling or real estate investing, it's not all about numbers. It's not all about leads, this and that. A lot of that has to do with a lot of the intangibles. So I want to give you all a holistic view of what it is to get a wholesaling deal. All right. So before I spoke about commitment. In this video, I would love to speak to you all about another word, which is super valuable. And what's crazy, I actually got a text about this morning. So hopefully the person that sent me this text, hopefully they see this video and you'll take some pointers from this, be able to apply it, and then be able to move forward on your journey. So this word that I'd love to discuss with you guys today is mindset. Okay. Now you're probably like, man, I just came onto your channel to get, tips on cold calling or tips on texting or tips on, how do I get, listen, I'm telling you, all of this is important. All right. If you just go in and you don't get your mind right first, within the first hour of calling, you're going to get defeated and you're going to be like, forget this. After the first week, you're going to be like, forget this. First couple months, you're going to be like, bruh, I'm good. Right? So it's super important to get your mind right as you're beginning on this journey. All right. And so first, let's go ahead and start off with the definition of what mindset means. All right. So mindset, the definition is the established set of attitudes held by oneself. All right. Let me say it again. The established set of attitudes held by oneself. All right. What's your attitude? All right. What is your state of mind? Let me go ahead and express this. So I remember at the beginning of my wholesale journey, I was putting out bandit signs. I was doing things here and there. I got some leads and I wasn't completing deals. I was getting non-refundable deposits, which was cool to get checks, but it sucked because I'm like, man, these checks are cool, but I want the whole check, right? I don't want these non-refundables. I want the full process because I want to know what this full thing is about. I'm going on social media. I'm seeing all these people with these checks. Oh, 5,000, 10,000. I'm like, that's cool, but I want to be able to get these checks myself, but in the full amount. Okay, so I did this, and for a while, that's just what was going on, right? I was running into buyers that were not reliable, and my name was starting not to be as good with some of these sellers, even though it was just a few. But my concern was I'm going to have to make an adjustment because I can't trust these buyers. And I don't want these few sellers going around and being like, oh, who are you dealing with? Don't deal with that guy because he can't close, right? So what I decided to do eventually was I was going through YouTube channels, and this brings up another point, but I'll go ahead and get to it. Actually, let me just get to it. I was going through looking up YouTube channels, trying to figure out how can I get my first deal? Why was I doing that? My mindset, right? I was like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to figure it out. I just have to figure out how to get there, right? So with that being said, I was going through different YouTube videos and I found someone, Jennifer West Granahan, shout out to her, great person, right? I watched several of her videos, and then I found out that she had a mentorship program that she was doing, right? So her coaching program, whatever it's called, right? So I was like, you know what? That now that I think about it, that's probably the first coaching that I've ever bought. Crazy. I just realized it. You guys witnessed it live, right? The realization. So I realized that I needed some help, and so I went ahead and paid it. I forgot how much it cost, but it was for these 30-minute, 45-minute. I forgot exactly how long these sessions were, but she would tell me, okay, now there's these things. It's called bandit signs. I'm like, I already know what a bandit sign is. Okay, well there's cold call. I'm like, yep, I'm already doing that. Okay, well there's these driving for dollars. I'm doing that. And well, what list are you getting? I'm getting this list, that list. Okay. And she's like, all right, so I mean, it sounds like you kind of have an idea for what this is. So what's going on? I'm like, yeah, but I don't have any experience. Like, well, when I looked at you, you're saying that you don't have any experience. So tell me what you've done. Oh, I've gotten deposit. I got a property under contract. He's like, oh, you got properties under contract before? Yeah, I got properties under contract, but I got non-refundable deposits and blah, blah. She said, okay, well, hold on. Don't say you don't have any experience. You got some experience and you've gotten some checks, but you just haven't done the second part, which is close. You did the first part. You created the bandit signs. You did what you had to do to find the lead. You got leads, right? You went to these appointments. You knew how to carry yourself. You knew how to fill out the contract. You knew how to do all that stuff, but you just need the second part. So don't talk negatively to yourself. Speak positively to yourself, because that's probably what you're missing. Because everything that she was telling me, she's like, yeah, I wasn't going to tell you to do that, but you know this already. So now it's just a matter of getting your mind right. Okay. So what was special about her program was that it wasn't just like, the X's and O's, or it wasn't just the call this list, blah, blah, whatever. She had a second portion of it. So she divided her calls up. First part was, here's a strategy. Second part is mindset. All right. Now, I did not realize that my mindset was off. I didn't know until I was part of that program. All right. So I got on and she would tell me to do these different exercises, like envisioning me getting my first check, and, writing that check and what that amount would be. Right. What are you wearing? Imagine yourself gripping on the steering wheel, and how are you parking? What's the weather like? What's the smell? What's this? What's that? Like envisioning everything, right? And then understanding that basically I could do this and I could manifest this type of result, which is completing a deal. I could do this by just getting my mind in the right space, right? So we did this exercise, and I was talking to my wife about it as well. And so I was trying to do a little bit of everything that I saw on YouTube, and I was just doing everything, right? And then my wife, she kind of set me down. She's like, look, what are some of the things that you're doing? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. She's like, all right, well, basically what you have to do as well is put yourself in a position to speak to the most people, right? Because I was super inconsistent, and it got to the point to where at one point I saw a video of someone saying, oh, if you really want to get a deal today, go to the Home Depot parking lot and walk up and down, because those are the folks that are rehabbing their house. And if you go to them, imagine somebody's like, man, now I got to go to Home Depot again to buy some material. And you're like, man, would you like to sell your house? And, blah, blah. And she was like, yeah, that's how I got my deal. I'm like, oh, man, so Home Depot parking lot, right? Once the Home Depot parking lot, sweating. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Somebody looks like me, going, hey, how you doing? People like, back up. It's like, no, I'm just saying, hey, how you doing? And I'm coming at them with this energy. I'm like, ooh, it's coming. That deal's coming. It's like, not like that, right? So I'll be out there for hours, only speaking to maybe 20-something folks, but thinking about what my wife said, which is putting myself in position to speak with the most people. So I could have spent those same few hours at home, spoke to 150 different people, cold calling, right? Texting, sending out, 1,000 messages, right? So once I made that mindset shift of, okay, I can do this, right? And something else that's interesting, something that was keeping me going too, right? I was really thinking to myself, I'm like, there's no way that these people are that much sweeter than me. Like, there's no way. There's no way that these folks are that much better than me. And there's no way that they can get checks and I can't, right? Like, I'm not sure if I'm sure some of y'all know about me, maybe not. Back in high school, I was known as the guy that was selling stuff, right? I sold candy for a little bit. I sold candles. I sold laser engraved pencils. I sold, customized puzzles. I sold T-shirts. Like, in my mind, I'm like, I have that experience of selling to people, interacting with people, and really being able to build rapport. I have that experience, and I'm like, I'm looking at some of these folks. I know they haven't had that type of customer service experience that I've had, right? And so with that, I'm like, I know they're not sweeter than me, so that I can do this, right? But I had to switch my mindset to not only can I do this, but I'm worthy of doing it and putting myself in position to speak with the most amount of people, right? So once I merge all those together, what happened next? After trial and error, boom, 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 for a couple years, month and a half later, got my first deal. Full deal, right? And the check I wrote down was $10,000. Guess what my first deal amount was? $13,000, right? So I say all this to say, sometimes it's not even a matter of you not knowing what to do. It's the belief in yourself. Because I found myself just kind of going through the motions. It's like, well, at least when I do fail, at least I can say I tried. It's like, what? Why would I even say that to myself? Mindset, negative talk. You have to always, always, always speak positively to yourself. Okay? Always remember that. All right. Now, something to really think about as well when it comes to wholesaling and real estate investing is that real estate investing and wholesaling can be very challenging, but it's also very rewarding, right? And let me explain. It can be challenging. How? Because unlike your job, that'll give you a check either this Friday or next Friday, right? Wholesaling is you're probably going to go several Fridays without seeing a check, right? You are probably not going to get a check within these next 3 or 4 weeks because you just got this deal under contract, and once it closes on the other end, the reward is you got a check for $13,000, right? And also on top of that, not just the financial part, but you were able to help a family that was in need. Let me tell you a story. So there was a woman, she was about to lose her house, pre-foreclosure, right? And surprisingly, I was the first person to call her. Most cases, whenever you reach out to anybody that's in pre-foreclosure, you're probably the 19th person that called them that day, but whatever, right? So gave her a call, and long story made short, her husband died. She wasn't able to maintain the bill. She was about to lose the house and not have anything. I was able to get that property under contract, sell the house, assign the contract within 3 weeks, and she was able to walk away with $50,000 in her pocket. Okay? She was able to walk away with $50,000 in her pocket, and she took that money, moved to Florida with a friend of hers, and I called her a few times after that just to kind of check on her. She's doing great, living with a friend of hers. She's really living a life right now, and most likely she had more money than she's ever had at one time because I was able to come in and create a solution for her exact issue. So that's also that reward. Yes, you get a few $1,000s here and there, but look at what you're doing on the back end. Think about those folks on the back end, because that's the whole reason why this thing is here. You're not just here making offers, boom, 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 here. But you got to have a soul out here, man. You have to think about the folks that you're helping. And once you start thinking about the people that you're helping, then that's when the gates open up of blessings. So I want you to really think about that. So it is rewarding financially, and I say spiritually as well. You really get to help people out and emotionally. All right. And lastly, what I want to go over is I want you to think about, and this all ties in with the mindset, I want you to understand that you are worthy. Okay. Now, when I say that you're worthy, and I express this in my book, you are worthy to be the answers to somebody's prayers. Now, what I want you to really think about is how powerful wholesaling is, okay? Wholesaling is so powerful that you don't have to have the money, but because you have the knowledge, okay, you can reach out to people that are in trouble, load them up with cash, resolve their situation, and you get paid for it. You don't have to have a lot of money to do this, but because of your knowledge, somebody that would have lost their house, that they say the like, let's be real. People, they save up for years, and they think about somebody that you know right now that bought a house, right? Maybe it's you, maybe it's somebody that you know, right? Just really imagine this. Their habits have to change. Oh, I can't because I was saving for a down payment on the house. Well, I can't do that, but I can't. I got to get my credit right. They do all these things to prep to become a homeowner, and then finally, they have all this money saved. Probably never saved that amount of money in their life before. But they got all this money saved, right? Then they dump it on the house. Whew, we homeowners now. Oh, thank goodness. We own a home, right? And then 5 years, 10 years, 12 years later, husband probably gets injured. Wife can't work. Husband probably can't work. Husband or wife probably passes away. It's like, well, hold on, I can't afford all these bills on my own. Okay, well, what can I do? Is the bank going to help me out? You know, is it like, what can I do? Let me get assistance from here, assistance from that. But the whole time it's like clock is ticking, right? Like eventually all this help is going to run out. Then when it runs out, okay, all of a sudden they're like, man, they're thinking to themselves like, man, maybe we should have stayed in the apartment. I could have afforded that. Maybe we should have done that. All this happens, and all their hard work, they're getting letters every day, calls every day. Like, hey, like, look, do you have our money? No? All right, whatever. So, and then check this out. I'm not sure if you guys know this. If you owe money in the house, if you're going into pre-foreclosure, right? This was wild. You may have owed $7,000 of mortgage payment, but because it's going into that pre-foreclosure phase, right? You may have owed $7,000, but because of all these additional fees that's on there, that $7,000 could be like could be like 15, 12 to 15,000 now. And something that you always see, it's like I'll tell you, so okay, well, how much would it cost to get current? Oh, well, I'm only behind 7,000. I'm like, all right, check your paperwork to make sure. 12,000, there's no way. Like, hey, this is how they do it, right? This is how they get down, right? So I want you to really think about that. You are able to help that person that's in that situation. You're able to help them be able to sell their house and get money out of that situation. Like, hey, look, no, they can't stay in the home. Okay, I understand, because you're about to lose the house. But instead of just losing that house and having nothing, like the situation that I was talking about before, now you get to walk away with $50,000. You probably didn't even put $50,000 down on the house, right? But now you're going to walk away with money, and you're blessing that person to be able to have a fresh start and moving forward. And also, you're helping out an investor, because this is something that people don't really think about. You're also helping out an investor who has this money that's sitting around like, man, I need to invest this money. Who's going to allow me to invest this money? I just got a call. All right. So you're helping out multiple people with their situations. So what you really think about that? All right. So again, just to kind of recap over everything. I'm famous today. I'm getting a lot of calls. Going over first, mindset, the established set of attitudes set by someone. All right. Understanding basically what's your attitude towards these different tasks that you're doing, and what other things that you want to do as far as your goals. All right. And number two, understanding that wholesaling and real estate investing can be challenging, but it is extremely rewarding, not just financially, but emotionally, and you can help out so many people. Everyone that you touch in that transaction, you're helping them. All right, and number three, understanding that you are worthy, okay? Understand that you are worthy of being a blessing to others, okay? The knowledge that you will receive as a wholesaler, okay? The knowledge that you have as a wholesaler, you are gonna be a blessing to so many people that you touch. All right, thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you found this information valuable, go ahead and click the like button, and also go ahead and subscribe. All right, if you love what you hear, go ahead and subscribe so that you're notified of whenever I have something else coming up. And if you love this stuff, you can go ahead and click the bell as well so that you can get that little pop-up on your phone, right? So thank y'all so much. And something else I wanted to share with you guys is I have an ebook called Wholesaling 101, Your First Steps. All right, so this book is for someone who has never closed a deal before. You want to learn about wholesaling and you really want to learn it in detail, right? My ebook, Wholesaling 101, Your First Steps, I put a link down below. From there, you'll be able to access the book and really learn what wholesaling is all about and get that first deal. I cannot wait for you to get your first deal. And I want you to also leave with this, is that you are worthy of being a blessing. All right, y'all take care. See you on the next video.